Okay, we're talking NBA draft lottery. Where's Dylan and Ace going to land? Jeremiah Williams finds a landing spot. Let's get to it. Okay, so the NBA lottery draft, something we've been talking a lot about over the past year or so because of the prospects for Ace and Dylan being top lottery draft picks. It happened last night, and the Mavs, with a 1.8% chance of winning the NBA draft lottery, they get Cooper Flagg. Of course, they haven't made the pick yet, but we know how that's going to go. Consensus number one pick. Cooper Flagg led Duke to the Final Four. They lost to Houston. He averaged 19 points, 7.5 rebounds, 4 assists, 1.5 blocks, and steals over 37 games. Stepped it up a little bit during the tournament, which is what you want to see from an elite player. Averaged 21 points, almost 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 blocks through his 5 games. So Flagg will almost assuredly go number one to the Mavs, and that leaves Ace and Dylan. Where are they going to land? So San Antonio and Philadelphia round out the top three. And it looks like, Brian Fonseca on NewJersey.com gave a synopsis of what the NBA writers thought where Ace and Dylan might go. And it seems that most of them had San Antonio and Philadelphia for Ace. I'm not so sure about that. They are number 2. San Antonio is number 2. Philadelphia is number 3. San Antonio had actually a 6% chance, and Philadelphia a 10.5% chance at landing number 1. Number 1, San Antonio. Dylan going to San Antonio, to me, actually, let's just do a little recap first. Dylan averaged just under 19.5 points per game, 4.5 rebounds per game, 4 assists, 1.5 steals. Well-rounded offensive game. We talked about him being a top 5 lottery pick forever. 6'5", he can facilitate, he can make plays for others as well, creating his own shot. And I saw one analyst say, well, he plays really good defense. And I was like, yeah, I'm not really sure about that. The same article compared him to Cade Cunningham and James Harden. James Harden is not playing a whole lot of defense. So, yeah, no. Nonetheless, at San Antonio, Dylan can join Victor Wembanyama. But there's talk about San Antonio possibly flipping the pick as part of a trade package to land Giannis. I don't know. Would they regret doing that? I know there's some chatter. I guess Giannis is just one of those guys that everybody does speculative trades about, including the Knicks. So I think San Antonio might also have the 14th pick. So, Dylan going to San Antonio, like the Giants during the draft, was their biggest need going to be edge? Not really, but sometimes you just need to take the best player that's available to take it to the next level. Dylan, and I think the guy from ESPN, according to Fonseca's article, said is it to fit alongside the Aaron Fox and Stephon Castle? Not necessarily, but you got to take who you feel is the best player, and you find a way to make it work. So Ace, a little more polarizing prospect. He's not a finished product. he is not much on creating his own shot. He's got that pull-up jumper. He loves, he can, at his size, 6'10", 10 and a half, gives him the ability to shoot over a lot of defenders. But I saw one story that he's actually 6'7", 6'7" and a half, in sneakers. I don't know about that. We know that Ace, wants to get out in front of the fast break. He wants to go. He wants like an NFL running back that gets downhill. That's what he likes to do. Not a finished product. But there's a lot of chatter about Ace going to Philadelphia, and there was some talk about Baylor guard VJ Edgecombe going to the Sixers, but Embiid is going to he's always going to miss games, and you're going to need somebody who can step. I mean, Philadelphia they weren't good this year, and Embiid misses a lot of games, so they're going to need somebody who can step in and be productive right away. Edgecombe, he's a guard. He's considered like the third best player. He's really athletic, 6'5", best two-way player in a lot of people's eyes. He's got elite quickness. He's explosive on his first step. But with Tyrese Maxey and Jared McCain, who are pretty productive, are they going to take a guard? The guy that a lot of people are talking about for the Sixers is Duke center Kaman Malok. So we'll see what happens there. But I think as far as Ace is concerned, Charlotte at number 4 is a really likely spot unless they go guard. Ace has similar size to Cooper Flag, but I think he's a little more dynamic athlete, if not as polished. He can finish through or over contact. He loves the transition game, and some feel that play style should fit nicely with LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller. So, he could come in as that slasher to the basket. He can be a catch and shoot, that crazy turnaround jumper that seems to go in kind of guy, operating with those two guys. He shot 34% from three. We weren't a great three-point shooting team. Dylan struggled with that a little bit as well, 33%. It's just a Rutgers thing. There's a lid on that rim. Some people will say, well, Rutgers had better talent on the floor. Maybe that would have all changed for the two superstars. I've been down this road 1,000 times. I'm not necessarily buying it, but, they can land. The Hornets need a power forward, and Ace may fit that role as a 6'10" two-way player to fill that role for the Hornets. So despite a short, quick pit stop at Rutgers, we wish Ace and Dylan the best of luck going forward. And Jeremiah Williams finds a landing spot at Georgetown after there was chatter about Seton Hall, Georgetown, USC were in the mix to try and land him. He goes to Georgetown, who landed 17-15, and losing record in Big East. Might be kind of a good spot for him. Jay Will gave us some energy a year before last. He averaged 12.2 points in 23-24. a little bit of a disappointment this past year. 7 points, 2.9 rebounds in 31 games. Shot almost 45% from the floor. Only 28% from three. It's a Rutgers thing. And I liked him because he provided that spark. He provided that energy, sometimes a little bit out of control. And, he had a kind of a rough go of it with injuries and the NCAA issue with underage gambling. And, he was thought to be a pretty good piece for us. But, the change last year where the team changed its entire identity to a different style of offense kind of left Jay Will on the outside a little bit and not being able to mesh and have chemistry with the new team. So he was not a productive season, and I'm sure he was disappointed, as we all were. But he was a spark plug for us at times, but he could not find consistency, and I wanted to pull my hair out sometimes with Jay Will because you saw what the flashes were, what the potential were, and then other times it was like, dude, what are you doing? Nonetheless, we wish Jay Will all the luck in the world, and maybe we'll see him down the road. On the professional front, my Knicks proved me wrong. They didn't fold, and they beat the Celtics 121-113 last night, led by Jaylen Brunson's 39 points on 14 for 25 shooting. I've said for the first few games that, the Knicks, they went up 2-0, but if Boston, who wasn't shooting well, started to shoot well, especially from three, that's what they like to do, that they would go, if they shot 50%, which they did in the last game, which they ran us out of the building, we'd have no chance. Even if they shot 45%, they would win. 40%, we have a chance. We shot really well last night, despite Jason Tatum, the Celtic that most Knicks fans love to hate. He had 42 points, but he suffered a lower leg injury. 3 minutes left in the game. He was helped off the floor in a wheelchair. He's going to have an MRI today. We'll see, what happens with that, if he'll be able to play. I don't want to get any false sense of confidence in case Tatum misses the game. You never know how these things shake out. Tom Thibodeau said pre-game that, he was talking about maybe having Mitchell Robinson starting him to keep the Celtics from fouling him while in the bonus, but they ultimately decided to stick with the usual starters. It was talk about Karl Anthony Towns and a hand injury. Oh my God, what are we going to do? But the opening few minutes of the game last night, I was beside myself because I thought, okay, here we go again. We're going to fall down by 20 points. We got through it the first couple of games. Didn't get through it in game 3. We're down 13-4, like almost immediately. Boston's hitting their shots. Derek White knocking down threes. We come back to tie, then we give it up again. I think we were down 13. We wind up going down 11 at the half. Boston was hitting their threes. I think they hit like 9 out of their first 14. But as it's been the case for most of the season, Jaylen Brunson came through. Game MVP, took over for the Knicks in the third quarter. He scored 18 points. So we outscored Boston like 30-13. So, we went from being down 14 to the Celtics, which was their largest lead. And you thought, okay, here we go. Conventional wisdom before the game was keep it within, 4 or 5 points. Midway late through the fourth quarter, we'd be okay. We take the lead. after that 30-13 run. Knicks were shooting well. I mean, we had to shoot well, which we didn't do in the past 3 games, in order to keep pace with Boston, and we did. We shot over 60% in the second half. Beyond Tatum, Boston cooled off, and that's exactly what we needed to have happen, because we had to shoot well, and Boston couldn't continue to hit their threes and shoot 50% from the floor and us have a chance to win. It just wasn't going to work out that way. So our starters all did a good job last night, and a little worried about that short rotation. The bench not super productive, although they got a little bit of playing time. But that's just the way it goes with Tom Thibodeau teams. Nonetheless, the Knicks are up 3-1, going back to Boston. So good luck to my Knicks. Let's close this out. There's nobody we like to beat more in basketball than the Celtics. And good luck to ex-Rutgers players. We'll see you in the NBA. And in the case of Jay Will, we'll see you down the road, perhaps with Georgetown. And we'll see you the next time. Enjoy the rest of your week.